Today on your Blazer Sports Report, we will learn more about junior outfielder Morgan Hill, who continues to light up the scoreboard for the Blazers. Then we will recap some of the softball team's recent games.
Later, we will learn more about our rugby players' path to the pitch. And finally, we will provide an update on the Blazers baseball team.
Your Blazer Sports Report starts now. Welcome to the Blazer Sports Report. I'm Dylan Stanley.
And I'm Cameron Davis.
Once it's ready, no.
Morgan Hill has joined Blazer Nation in 2020 and has made a name for herself right away with a complete game shutout in her pitching debut early in the season. Since then, Morgan has ranked in the top 10 for multiple stat categories in the Gulf South Conference. This week, Blazer Sports reporter Shauna Small went out to Steele's Diamond to learn more about how Morgan approaches each game.
With the end of the regular season approaching in a couple of weeks, the Blazers are looking to finish off strong. Let's see what they're up to this week. The Blazers are still running hot with the help of superstar player Morgan Hill. Morgan currently has 47 hits through 132 at-bats for a .365 batting average.
Different pitchers have different pitches. Some throw more down, some throw more up, in and out. So my approach to the plate is get up there and attack first. Don't let them get me into the count I don't want. So I like to swing ahead in the count, but I like to know what they're throwing.
One main contribution to the Blazer wins this season are the defensive plays.
We're just going to keep backing each other up. We're doing a good job of backing Sam and Madison up on the defense side, and we're doing a good job at elevating the ball and scoring some runs. So we're just going to keep working hard at practice and performing in the games.
The team has shown an uphill success with an overall record of 32-8 and 18-3 conference wins.
Us older players and returners keep telling all our new players and freshmen that how fun it is to make it to nationals and how this team has the potential to do it, and we just keep motivating each other that's our end goal. It doesn't matter about conference. We just want to make it to Chattanooga back to nationals.
Morgan Hill continues the successful streak of the Blazers. With this performance, the team will flourish into the playoffs. Reporting for the Blazer Sports Report, this is Shauna Small.
Thanks, Shauna. The Blazers have a few more weeks left in the regular season before the Gulf South Conference tournament begins on May 3rd. Go to www.vstateblazers.com to follow the action and receive schedule updates.
This past weekend, the Blazers softball faced West Alabama in a 3-game series at Steele's Diamond at Blazer Park. One of our reporters went out to cover the first game of the series.
The Valdsota State Blazers faced off against the West Alabama Tigers in one of the best softball showdowns of the season. This matchup started out as a pitching masterclass by Samantha Richards and Madison Wright, as neither team scored through the first 3 innings. But then VSU's Morgan Hill smacked one all the way home and woke the Blazers crowd up, giving the Blazers a 1-0 lead against the Tigers. Later in the 6th inning, Alabama's Tyler Craig hit a grand slam, which resulted in a 3-run RBI for the Tigers, giving them a 3-1 lead against the Blazers. Madison Wright then closed out the Blazers, sealing the win for the West Alabama Tigers in the first of 2 meetings. The Blazers are currently ranked number 2 in the GSC softball rankings. For your Blazer Sports Report, I'm Cameron Sanders.
The Blazers went on to win the final 2 games of the series, and they improved their overall record to 32-6. The softball team will play 2 series on the road before returning to Steele's Diamond at Blazer Park on April 29th to face West Florida.
The VSU men's rugby team had an exciting weekend where they played 3 matches against Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, and Auburn. The team started off strong with a 15-10 win against the Bulldogs. The team came up short in the other 2 matches. As the VSU men's rugby team prepares for the next tournament on April 22nd in Valwood, I sat down with Alejandro Otero to discuss his feelings towards the game and how he continues to improve as a player and a person. Being one of the youngest members on the team, Alejandro gave insight into his early days with the sport.
So pretty much coming out of high school, I had a bunch of football injuries and stuff like that. And, when I came to Valdosta, I thought about walking on, but I just I looked up all the information, stuff like that. It just really wasn't worth it. And then I met Tyler, and I knew a little bit about rugby. I knew it was like football, and, I missed football and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, let me go out there and give it a try. And ever since I've been out here, I fell in love with it.
Since rugby is so similar to football, it's easy to see why Alejandro fell in love with such a familiar sport.
Like I said, it teaches me about life. You come out here, not everything's going to be handed to you. Sometimes you got to work for it and stuff like that. Sometimes, there's going to be an obstacle in your way, whether it's the way a team's playing, whether it's a specific guy on the team. And, there's not one right answer to win a game. So, it just teaches you how to be flexible, how to adapt to adversity and stuff like that.
With just under 2 weeks until their next set of matches, the men's rugby team is hopeful for success. I'm Cameron Davis.
And now we have an update on the Blazers baseball team. The Blazers have won 6 of their last 7 games, which included 2 out-of-conference matchups. Valdosta State sits at number 2 in the Gulf South Conference standings as of today, and the top 5 teams are within 1 game of each other. The Blazers face the Alabama Huntsville Chargers on the road this weekend, and the result of this series could have a significant impact on the conference standings. The Chargers sit at number 5 in the standings and look to extend their 3-game winning streak. Go to www.vstateblazers.com for live stats throughout the weekend.
Well, that's it for today's Blazer Sports Report. I'm Dylan Stanley.
And I'm Cameron Davis. Tune in to the Blazer Breakdown on your favorite podcast provider for new stories coming soon, Blazer Nation.